Welcome to Literacy Education 1. My name is Myra Infanta Sheridan and I'll be your instructor. Please review the syllabus on your own. I'll mention some things in this video, however, I won't explain other things until assignments come up during the semester. We'll do a lot of reading for this course. You'll have to read chapters out of the textbook. You'll have articles to download and read on Canvas. And you'll also be acquiring an academic book which you will read with a small group for a book club activity. The reading responses will be worth 30% of your grade. You'll usually prepare some kind of graphic organizer or annotate a certain way. And in addition to that, you'll participate in some form of discussion on Canvas. Sometimes you'll choose whom to respond to, and other times I will divide you into smaller groups so that you have a more interactive experience. I'll explain the rest of the assignments as we come up to them during the semester. Of course, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me. You can also see what topics we're going to cover during what week, what assignments will be due. This could change, but generally we'll stick to the schedule. I'll go over the literacy theory presentation and paper in more detail next week, but for now, I'd like for you to look at the different theories that you have as options for this presentation and paper, and for you to start thinking if there's anyone in the class whom you would like to pair up with for this activity. Next week, I'll ask you to choose a theory and also let me know who you're going to be working with. Okay, so in order to get to know each other a little bit better, we're going to do a getting to know you better activity. So I want you to tell me more about yourself and to tell the rest of your classmates as well. You can either prepare an essay, a PowerPoint, or a video to introduce yourself to the class. And basically what I want you to do is to answer the following questions. I want you to answer why you are taking this class, what you are doing currently, what your career goals are, and what are some of your interests outside of your career. I'll start by telling you a little bit about myself. So the first two questions kind of blend for me a bit. I'll talk about why I'm teaching this class and what I'm currently doing. I'm originally from South Texas, which is the blue area on the Texas map. And I taught high school in this area for 5 years before transitioning into teaching at the higher ed level. And I taught at the University of Texas Pan American. I taught both in the English department and I also taught for education majors as well. And it was there that I decided to pursue a PhD, and that is what brought me to the Las Vegas area. UNLV offered me an assistantship, and I was a graduate assistant for 2 years at UNLV. That's where I started to delve more into the area of early literacy and working with elementary school students as well. I did that for 2 years, and then I transitioned into Nevada State College as a full-time lecturer. I'm almost done with my PhD, and so I'll often share with you all some of the research that I'm doing towards my dissertation as well. At any given moment, I'm teaching ages pre-K to graduate students, teaching here at Nevada State College, teaching at UNLV, and also conducting writing workshops with CCSD. My career goals, of course, involve continuing to teach, whether it be here at Nevada State College or at a different university, and also to continue to write. I also write young adult literature, and I write some of the research that I do as well. A lot of my teaching and my research centers around the idea that students should be allowed to bring in their cultures and their languages into the classroom. So I practice something called culturally sustaining pedagogy, and I'll sometimes mention some of those things to you for class. I also endeavor to be a kind and patient, enthusiastic teacher that students feel is approachable and also is happy to be in the classroom with them and happy to embark on this journey. And that's why I included that little Miss Sunshine cartoon there in the corner. So some of my interests outside of class include traveling. I started to travel as an undergraduate student uh, through study abroad programs. I got to go to England, France, Italy, and Spain. And ever since then, I've tried to continue to do that. I've also participated in study abroad as an instructor. I've taken two different groups of students to London, and I would love to do that again as well. In addition to that, I love being at home. I love doing um, just household stuff like cooking and cleaning. I'm also attempting to have a garden in my backyard. It's mostly cactuses because that's what survives more in this area. Of course, I love to read. I have almost 1,000 books in my home library. So those are some of the things that I'm really interested in. So I'll go ahead and put up a link on the discussion board so that you can either post your essay, PowerPoint, or video. Introducing yourself, you can include pictures, drawings, whatever it is that you would like to include, that would be fine so that we get to know each other a little bit better. So I've started to read some of the posts already for chapter 9, and I think that you all are doing a wonderful job of using the 3-2-1 method. If you have any questions about how to complete this, I recommend that you read what other students have already posted because that's exactly what I'm looking for. And then after everyone has posted, then I'll go in and make comments and also assign you your points for having participated in the discussion. The textbook does a really good job of starting off the chapter, setting a purpose for our reading with the guiding questions. In fact, I would say that concentrating on these questions will be important moving forward, especially when it comes to the midterm and or the final. These are the things that I will be looking into, especially when creating the questions for those exams. Another thing to consider as well are the key terms or concepts. Some of them are in italics in the textbook. Others are explained or mentioned, but I have made a list for you to consider. These are some of the terms that you will continue to use throughout your careers as teachers in the literacy area. To me, it's not so important that you memorize the actual terminology. What's really important is that you're able to identify what this terminology is representing, that you are able to see it in the classroom, that you are able to identify it with your students as you're assessing, that you understand what is happening during the literacy development process. And we'll talk more about that throughout the semester as well. This concludes this video. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact me. Goodbye.